Hello my beautiful friends, and welcome to Tailor Made Beauty by Kris. Can you believe it? We have another eyeshadow palette to talk about these days. I know there's been a bunch and there's still another one coming, but it feels like it's that time of year, like Christmas just keeps creeping earlier and all of the brands are trying to get stuff out there to get us to spend our money with them. And honestly, when I saw this is the Primrose Palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It had been a very long time since I purchased anything from ABH. The last palette I bought was the Norvina palette, which was like 2 years ago. And I was really intrigued by the color story when I saw this on Trend Mood. It just looked like such a radical departure from the very vibrant colors that she'd been doing and the collabs and everything. And when I was able to see it in person at Sephora and swatch it, it blew my mind. And if you watched my short, you know that Sephora didn't actually have it in stock. They just had the tester, and I ran to my Ulta and I got it there. You can also pick it up at Nordstrom. In the month of October at Nordstrom, they're giving bonus points on beauty purchases up to 6 times the points, depending on what level you're at. So really any of those, or if you're Sephora VIB, they've got the sale coming up in November. Anyway, that's where you get it. And what do you get? Well, it's a palette, it's a face palette with 10 eyeshadows and 2 blushes. I don't know. So let's just get those out of the way first. Grapefruit and Saddle. And these are super, super pigmented. Like I used Grapefruit today and I just barely kissed my blush brush into that, and there was so much color. So let me just show you what those two are like. When I first saw it, I thought maybe the Saddle, that darker one, could be a bronzer. No, it's way too orange. And if you watch Emily Noel, Emily Noel did a video on this, and she used that Saddle as a bronzer. And I was like, oh girl, don't do it. And even on camera, it looks a little Oompa Loompa-y, so I don't believe it's supposed to be a bronzer. I think it's supposed to be a blush. Having said that, I would not buy this palette for getting blush. But these eyeshadows, 10 eyeshadows, 4 mattes, 5 mattes, 4 shimmers, and 1 sparkly. So yeah, let's get to the goodness. Let's swatch some of these. So I am going to start with some of the mattes. Mango, Claret, and Deep Berry. And the payout on these is phenomenal. Look at that. Look at that. That is... And they go on beautifully, they blend beautifully. That Deep Berry, it looks kind of deep in the pan, but oh my goodness, it is a color I am absolutely obsessed with. Moving on, let's pick up, like this is like seriously in no particular order. Primrose, that purple on the top, Sparkling Amber, and Honey. Honey is what I use as my transition shade. Sparkling Amber is what I am wearing on my lid today. And Primrose is a shade I haven't played with yet. Although you can see, I mean, it swatches beautifully. Then we've got Rouge, Peony, and Rosewater. And again, look at the color payout there. So the only one you haven't seen yet is Fire Opal. Oh yeah. And check it out. I mean, look at that. Look, it is so beautiful. So beautiful. I would, like I said, when I swatched it, I was done for. I had to get it. And now that I've had it for about 10 days and I've been wearing it, and we traveled to go to a wedding this weekend, and it was one of the two palettes. I took the Scotts Barnes palette and this one, and I felt beautiful every single day. The one caution I would say, there is fallout with this palette. So if you can bake under your eyes and that's how you deal with fallout, do that. If you just do your eyes first and then do your makeup. But yes, there's fallout, but they wear beautifully. They blend beautifully. This, I'm going to show you a couple looks from this palette, but oh my gosh, I really, really like this palette. This first look is just a really light kind of coppery, peachy, lovely for a beautiful fall day look. I started with a Wayne Goss 19, just like a small crease brush, and went into the shade Mango, and started in my actual crease and work my way up from there. These shadows are very pigmented and blend very nicely. I have to say, I have really been really happy with this palette. And so you can see there, as I'm working it up, not quite to my lash line, but certainly just getting a good wash of that mango color there in my crease. Now I'm going in with a Rephr 14, which is, it's another small crease brush, and going into Honey. For me, this is a good transition shade. Now I'm taking that into my actual crease. I'm not going to work it up as high as I did Mango. I want that Mango to be on its own up above, but I do want to deepen the crease and just slightly above the crease. So I think these colors are gorgeous, and I think they would really flatter any skin tone. I will say though, if you are darker complected, you may not have a good transition shade in here. Although I'll be curious, the Saddle, the blush, that might be an interesting transition shade. Anyway, I think this would suit and flatter lots of different shades of skin. And so that's then the Mango under the Honey. Now I am going in with just my finger, this Sparkling Amber, and you can see I've already enjoyed this color quite a bit. I do tap off my finger. There is some, look at that. Oh my gosh, this payout is beautiful. So gorgeous. And I should have grabbed my Pat McGrath, that wand, that it's like an eye balm wand that you put down and then you put your shimmers over it, because then it is really wow. But even without it, just such a gorgeous color. Then I take my unnamed, unnumbered Morphe, just a flat little brush. That's what I like to do under my eye with. I'm going into Rouge, and like I said, just going under my eye, under my eyelashes, my lower lashes. And I'm picking up a little bit more of that and just doing the outer corner here. I have started doing this lately. Instead of doing the 7 or the reverse 7 and darkening the outer part, just doing this, tying my lower lash line color to the top like that and calling that good. And honestly, okay, yeah, I was gonna just go in with the ittiest bit more of mango, super, super lightly. I'm just gonna darken up this one over here too. Boom, and there you go. That's it, 3 brushes and my finger. What a great look. I'm actually going to do 2 different looks so that we get a total of 3 for this video. And I'm going to start with that honey shade again for transition. And I'm going to go into Fire Opal just with my finger and tap that on the outer half . That is just such an amazing color. Just wow. Then I am going to go into Peony, this kind of pink color, just with a clean finger. And that I'm doing on the next little section and overlapping it a bit with the Fire Opal. I think those blend together so beautifully. It is such a lovely color. And then for the inner corner, I have a little teeny tiny brush. I'm going to go into Rose Water and use the brush there. That just makes such a pretty gradient. Really, really lovely. And you know what, you could now, if you wanted to, you could darken up the crease with rouge like yesterday, but I am going to go into the claret and the deep berry because they are spectacular. For the claret, I am taking this Wayne Goss 27S. It's not fluffy, it's pretty dense, but it's small. And the way I like to use this brush is to put down the color and then take a fluffier brush to blend it instead of trying to blend with this brush. I really like this for placing color. So like I said, I'm going to pick up some of that claret and I'm going right out here, okay? And then I've got a fluffy brush, a 15 from Refer. You know, even that is really lovely. I love how all these colors work and play well together. I am taking a small shader brush. This is a Refer 28 and going into that deep berry, just tapping it there. And I am now going to tap it on the outer corner and work it a little bit into that claret from above. And you can see, oh yes, that just deepens it up nicely. It's such a pretty color. And even though when I put it down, it looked super dark, look how quickly it shears out with a little blending. So I like that, you know, you can pack it on there and get that really big punch of color or blend it and just create a sheer wash. It's lovely. I have a brush that I have absolutely been loving. It is so teeny tiny. You see it there? This is a Rephr 29. And I love it for just super precise work. So I'm going back into Deep Berry. And I am going to go under my lashes and the lower lash line. Just. And can I say, oh my gosh, look how my green eyes are popping with these colors. So beautiful. Let's try look number 3, and honestly the only shade in this palette that I have not used is that Primrose. Yeah, that one. Where am I gonna put it? I am starting with a bigger, fluffier crease brush, the Wayne Goss 17, and I'm going into Mango, that peachy orangey shade. And I'm being really generous with it. It's kind of going just about everywhere in the middle here, right? From movable part of the lid, but not down to the lash line, all the way up, blending it out up near my brow. I gotta see how this Primrose goes down. So I'm taking a flat shader brush. This is a Rephr 02. And let's pick up that Primrose. It does have some sparkles in it, but it's not a shimmer shade, I don't think. Let's see what it looks like on. Okay, that's kind of pretty. Let's build it up a little bit more. I think what I want to do is bring in that Peony, that pink. Okay, now I'm thinking that Mango wasn't a great choice, so I'm going to go over it with Honey. Are you getting the feeling I have no idea where I'm going with this? And that's because I have no idea where I'm going with this. I am going to use this brush. Who is this brush from? I don't even know. It is a really unique brush. So the shape isn't super different, but it has shorter bristles, it has longer bristles, and it's super soft. I'm going to pick up Claret with this and swipe it out on this outer third of my eye just to get a wash of that color out there. That's better. Then I'm going to take Primrose on my finger and kind of work it in the center here. And just pick up, I'm going to dip into Peony and Rose Water and mix those two for the inner bit. Now a little Peony on my pinky. All right, and so now let's try to bring this train back in the station. I'm going to pick up Primrose, that purple shade again, on an inner corner brush, and go underneath my lash line with it. Let's blend a bit. All right, well, okay, that's not bad. I will say that's probably my least favorite shade in the palette, but oh my gosh, the rest of these colors, and you know what, it may be Primrose is your jam. Anyway, clearly I am loving this palette. I am loving the looks, the quality. This was such a pleasant surprise from Anastasia. I'm so glad I picked it up. So, thank you for joining me today. Give this a like, subscribe if you haven't, and have a really fantastic day.